So here we are. We just arrived at Buster Creek at the quarry here. And right off the bat, we're seeing some zeolites, and I just spotted this nice little agate nodule. Looks like it has a split surface, but it's a nice little nodule. And there's some zeolites and matrix up there and over there. And there's a whole big pile over there, over this little embankment. And it sounds like Kendra just found something. Ooh. That is a spider egg case.
Are you sure?
Yep. That will flake off. Yep. Spider egg case.
Rude.
But it's got either calcite or zeolites on the other side.
This looks like a tiny piece of opal.
That could be either opal or some sort of agate or chert.
Yeah. Maybe chert. Bummer, man. It was so sparkly.
So yeah, there's stuff here.
Yeah, fun. Let me see that agate up close.
And it's nice and translucent too.
Yes. Look at you go. All we have to do is dig in this pile of dirt.
Or we could head over.
Well, I meant like...
Yeah.
It's like simple.
Anywhere.
Like, cool. Well, I guess I'll grab my backpack then.
And I've got some stuff in the car. There is someone out here shooting off rounds in the distance. But they sound like they're way over on top of that hill over there in that direction. So we're just going to stay visible and hope we don't get sprayed with any lead. So there we go. We are here. Good morning, everybody. Fossil Bill here. This is the wrap-up video from the trip to Buster Creek. I will be adding this on to the end of the Buster Creek video, so it should be evident what it is, but just figured I'd say that just in case. So here we go. This is what I collected from the mine. It turned out the Buster Creek location on the map was not a creek dig or creek hunting location, but a mine collecting location. It is the location of an old defunct mine, which people often use as a target practice zone, and that's probably the most popular use of an old defunct mine these days. But so here we have my biggest and best finds. Some of these were left behind by Kendra. And I picked them up after she left them behind. Like this chunk of calcite here. Pretty nice specimen of calcite. One of the ways to tell the difference between zeolites and calcite is that zeolites most commonly do not fluoresce, and calcite does not always, but usually will fluoresce or react in some way to UV light. Different colors sometimes in different wavelengths. Now I have a variety of materials here. I have some amygdaloidal basalt with bubbles of zeolites, calcite, and other materials possible in it. I have not identified all the little bubbles in it as to what they are. But that came home in that little baggie so I wouldn't lose any pieces. This is a big, what's referred to as a quartz bomb. And only this little portion of it was visible above the mud. But Kendra saw this little pocket of quartz and thought, that looks like something, and dug the whole thing out, and it is just solid quartz on the other side and all the way through. So that was quite an interesting find, but she didn't really have much interest in it. But I took it from her because she wasn't interested in it. I did find my own. It was much smaller, but here's mine that I found. And that's mostly quartz going through it, I think. I won't find out until I break it open. But it looks like it might have some other stuff in there as well. Looks like some possible brecciated material. Now, a lot of this stuff does fluoresce, so that tells me what I thought was zeolites in some of this material was actually calcite, not zeolites. But there's also some other things that we were not expecting at that location because it was labeled as a carnelian location. This, for example, has pyrite and some other iron sulfide minerals in it. Just in the mix, you can see the sparkle of little tiny pyrite crystals in the material that's holding the larger pieces together. And that sparkle is when the light just catches one of the faces on one of the pyrite crystals. But there is two larger crystals that are fractured that are right here and right here that were also in the mix with the other stuff. And I found this piece, which I was breaking open a rock, and you can see all the little sparklies in it already, but it has like rainbow colored druzy pyrite crystals on it along where it broke. And that came out in that little baggie to make sure it didn't break. But yeah, I'll be cleaning these up and doing another video of the container. I'll try to keep the container in the same, general orientation, pieces where they are after I clean the pieces up. There's some other stuff on other sides of these pieces, but for the most part I've selected the best side that shows the most of what we're interested in to go and face up. Oh, that obviously wasn't, but as I said, for the most part. And if I see something that has more on one side than any others, I will correct which side is facing up. But most of this, since both calcite and zeolites have a habit of crumbling and separating along cleavage planes, I will not be suggesting these pieces to the ultrasonic. Instead, I will be just working at these with a toothbrush and probably a bowl of water and some probably Dawn dish soap. Except for this piece and this piece, I will probably just not clean up at all and just leave as they are. So there we go. We also, while we were out there, after we collected all these, did a little bit of cleanup. I'm going to switch counters here. And we collected some of the stuff left by people that do target practice in the pit. This is not by any chance or any means all of it. There was a lot more. But one of the things is lead that is left behind can contaminate groundwater and eventually work its way into our drinking water, causing lead poisoning. So I try to pick that up wherever I can. And brass, I usually collect it and then scrap it out when I have enough. So it earns me a little bit of money. Plus it's cleaning up the environment after people just do their thing and leave waste material just laying around on the ground. I could probably also sell it to someone that reloads brass for probably about the same money I'd get for scrapping it out. So I might do that instead. I have attracted some help here. But that's what we did. We had some fun. We found some interesting stuff. And we did some cleanup and left the property cleaner than when we walked onto it. The guy that was shooting on the property paused when he saw us come on the property, and then he thought we had left, and he resumed again. He did come up to us when he spotted us again when he was getting ready to leave, and apologized because he thought we had left, and that's why he had resumed shooting, and he thought it was, I think this was awesome. He came over and actually apologized to us for resuming shooting while we were still there, doing our thing. But, and then he left, and we just continued doing our thing. But before I go to the, to clean these off, I figured I would shut off the big halogen light, and I know the bin fluoresces a certain amount, but you can see that big chunk of quartz fluoresces greenish. That fluoresces pink. That has a dull pinkish red. It shows up much brighter on camera than it does in real life. That fluoresces different colors. A lot of this material does fluoresce different colors, and it's just really cool material that we collected. Now, surprisingly enough, the little agate nodule that I collected right off the bat when we arrived, right here, does not fluoresce at all. It is completely inert, unreactive, whatever you want to call it. It does not react to UV at all. Well, at least not under that wavelength. I'll try it under shortwave later when I get it cleaned up a little bit more. But there we have it, and now to clean it up. Not everybody that has a gun and is shooting in a mine is disrespectful, and most of them are just decent people just like you and me. Okay, I forgot to hit record. I cleaned up this big piece. It seems to be a big breccia. You see, this is one big rock, there's other little rocks, and it's all cemented together with zeolites and calcite. And I cleaned up the big chunk of quartz and calcite. A lot of this is just requiring a hose off. And most of the dirt is just coming right off of it. because it's just loose dirt. If you notice, I'm not really using a toothbrush. I'm using a Dollar Tree dish scrubby brush. I either got it at Walmart or Dollar Tree a long time ago. And it just gets the dirt out of the little crystals. There's the agate, or, let's see, I haven't seen whether there's banding or not in it. There's no real visible banding in this piece, so I'd call it more of a chalcedony than an agate. I'll get some of the dirt out of there. Just a gentle brushing. And there we go, that looks better. Not perfect, but better. Better to have a little bit of dirt in there than break the whole thing apart. There's that piece. That came out really nice and clean. That's actually, oh, not quite in the crystal. There we go. Just a little bit of rubbing on that one. Got rid of most of that. This isn't going to clean up just because that's basalt with pockets in it. That piece has got pyrite crystal that might come loose if I scrub it. So I'll just give it a gentle rub with my fingers. Loose dirt off of this piece. Is that it? I think that's about it. This piece, you can see a really nice pyrite crystal emerged from underneath the mud. A few nice little ones. But yeah, there we go. All cleaned up. Ready to do whatever I'm going to do with them. For right now, they're just going to sit in the bin. Eventually, I'll do something like mount them up in micro mount boxes or make displays out of them. This is going to go in my personal collection because it's my best at chalcedony from that site. I'll pick out the best pieces of calcite with the best UV reactions from that site, and then I'll probably part with the rest. Probably give them to a local club or organization, or maybe pieces that are specimen grade will go up on my site, but only after I mount them and label them. Unfortunately, other than the agate or chalcedony, nothing here is really cuttable. This may or may not hold up together for cutting, but I don't want to take a chance. It's a really nice shelf specimen, so that'll probably stay on my shelf somewhere when I actually have room for shelving. But yeah, that's the wrap up and clean up of the specimens from Buster Creek, from the mine, and that's all. Hope you enjoyed the coverage of the trip and what I found, and have a great rest of your day, and keep rocking.